Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumo, and it's great to be on this show where we discuss all things books. Well, as you can see, I still have my phone with me, still trying to get used to reading from my phone, reading books from my phone. Tricky. I'm more used to the paper books. I just love my paper books. I just love them. And also my Kindle. My Kindle comes next. If I don't have my paper book, let me have my Kindle. But reading a book from the phone, that's new. That's tough for me. But I guess young folks these days will find that a lot easier because when you are born in the generation of mobile phone, you get used to reading all sorts of things from it. Well, our guest this week is a distinguished medical practitioner. I'm talking about Dr. Steve Samuel. We'll get to meet with him soon. But he's written a book that is punchy, that is inspiring, one that you want to get your hands on and read. It's titled Whispers of Wisdom from My Father, and so much wisdom packed in here. Well, before we get to meet with this doctor, let me read something that caught my attention from this book. The happiest people on earth are the givers, not the receivers. There is something about people who give cheerfully. This I know for a fact because the hand that gives is always on top. Well, that's just one of many you'll find in this book. So many short, punchy, pam, just gets in your face. Well, that's why I love this book, and that's why you're going to love it. Let's get to meet with Dr. Steve Samuel and then enjoy the conversation that introduces you to his fascinating book.
Dr. Steve Samuel is a board-certified obstetrics gynecology physician, lecturer, and author. Dr. Samuel got his medical degree and doctorate in molecular genetics from Morehouse School of Medicine, Johns Hopkins University, and University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He leads and directs a group of practitioners focused on impacting the healthcare of women across the United States and beyond. He joins Channels Book Club to discuss his debut work, Whispers of Wisdom from My Father.
Dr. Steve, thank you for joining us on Channels Book Club. It's great to have you here.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Great. Thank you. We've been discussing this for a while, and I'm really glad you're on the show today. And well done. All the work you do in the medical field, over the years, and then getting to write this fascinating book you've written, which we'll be discussing on this show. Well done.
Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
I always like to ask my authors this question, what's the story behind the book? For every book, there's a story. You see that book there. What led to it? What's the journey that led you to that book? I'd like you to share that with us as we begin to consider your book on the show today.
Okay, well, thank you for that question. What happened was, these are stories and things that happened along my journey, my life journey, things I've been through my medical journey, and also speaking and talking to people and all those things. Also, I tend to be very, very religious in terms of, so those things put together that inspired me to write the book. Intentionally, at the beginning, I was writing it, I was journaling, putting stuff together through my life experience and life walks and all those things. And while I journal and put those things together, I was not my intention to write a book, but my wife and some other of my colleagues saw my journal and said, "Hey, you have to put this in a book. People want to hear and listen, hear about it and learn from it and all that stuff, So I compiled, I called a publisher and submitted the material, and they saw it and they thought and felt it's something that the world wants to listen to and hear, and it should be needed as this. So I put it together, I prayed about it, and I got a title and topic for it, which was called Whispers of Wisdom from My Father. But not necessarily my earthly father, but my heavenly father. So those are the things that prompted me to, to put it to publication.
Fantastic. Now, I would like you to introduce us to the structure of the book. I like what I see in the book. Those wisdom nuggets numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it just keeps going on and on. I would like you to describe how you have structured the book and why so.
There's a reason why I numbered them, not just chapters, but also numbered. So you can actually reference a particular number, okay, page 240, number 754. This is something that was so profound to me that, that I want to talk about, or something that made sense to me, or you want to talk, use it to reference something. So that's the reason why I numbered them, so that it could be easy to pick each of those nuggets. And also a coffee table book whereby anybody can reference it and digest it. And also, I just don't want, I didn't make it just because of the inspiration. I'm more interested in the transformation of it, whereby you can read it and get it and it transforms you. And then also it's open for discussion and topics. We can talk about it. Preachers can use it for sermon. You can use it as a topic anywhere you go. And now let's talk about it. And again, let's discuss it, because I set up a podcast whereby all my readers all over the world can, call in and let's discuss it. But whereby you don't agree, or your whatever prism that you looked at it and understood it, let's talk about it and let's discuss it. I might learn from each and everyone that's read the book.
So, Dr. Steve, for the sake of viewers out there who are wondering, what's in the book? What's in the book? I would like you to, let's explore between 3 and 5 of those wisdom nuggets in your book that are particularly relevant for us in Nigeria, given everything happening, or globally. I would like you to pick 3 to 5. I know that's very difficult because you've got quite a lot there, and you probably will be thinking of sharing as many as possible. But let's do 3 to 5 and get the book introduced to viewers out there.
Okay. Well, what I would say again is, like you said, there's a lot in there, and 3 to 5 might not be enough. But again, I would love to speak of it from my heart. Right? Instead of picking 3 to 5, because I love them all, and there's no one better than the other. And again, it depends. It depends on who is reading it and how, and what the situation that they are facing, and that they pick one and say, okay, this resonates to what is I'm going through right now, what's happening now, and all that. There's a lot to talk about. But like I said again, one of them that come to mind to me is not my favorite, but because I love everything that is in the book, But one of them that resonates to me is about waiting.
Waiting.
Yeah, wait, because people always say, "I'm waiting on the Lord," right? Or whatever will be. Que sera, sera. I don't, me for one, don't believe in whatever will be. I believe that you have to make things happen. If you want something happen, if you want to achieve something, you got to make it happen. It's not about what will be, because if you're waiting for something to be, it might not be, So, like I said again, in that portion, They said, we're waiting on God. Let's wait on God. Then I tell them, I say, then if you say you are waiting on God, do what waiters do. Serve. That's what waiters do. You don't
Serve.
wait and sit down and wait, right?
Yeah.
You serve. If you go to a restaurant and you see a waiter waiting on you, he don't just sit down. He or she doesn't fold his or her hands and stops like they're like Soja Idumota. Is that what they call them? And wait for you. He walks, he goes around, he fetches you water and all this. At the end, you reward him or her for service rendered. So you don't wait on God. God is waiting on you, waiting on you to do something, waiting on you to act, So we can't just sit down and wait. So that's what I was talking about. If you say you're waiting on God, do what waiters
So
do.
that is basically a call. That's basically a call to be active, to fold your sleeves and do something, to get busy, to get moving constantly, right?
Yeah, a call to action.
A call to action.
Yes. That's what it is.
Is that a problem? How big a problem is it, in your opinion? I'm waiting for the Lord thing. I mean, for it to have generated one of the wisdom tips in your book.
Yes, it is a problem that needs to, that we need to, look into, and it's advised to people that, what I understand is our God is an astute businessman. He's just not there. He wants us. When he said, "Let us increase and multiply," he's not only asking us to make children or make babies and increase our family. He wants us to do something, to be productive and grow and go from glory to glory to glory. That's what it is. It's not just, increasing and multiplying, making children or making babies. But increase and multiply is you have to do better. You have to do good. That's who our God is.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's very powerful. Okay, what's the second nugget?
The second nugget, which also that you're saying something about, relates to my people, to Nigeria and us, and we're talking about brain drains and whatever is happening in Nigeria right now. When I left Nigeria to the US, also, I came to the US to study and acquire knowledge and to go back to Nigeria to serve. You see, we're talking about serving again and service, to come to Nigeria to serve. But it never happened that way because of the situation, because of what's happening in Nigeria, because of bad governance and all that. I will tell you today that every Nigerian that is outside that nation, longs to come back home to see but the situation is not making it possible for them to come because of bad governance and all that. But again, people there think we are happy where we are here, which is not that we are or we are not, but the thing that there's no place like home. Home is where the heart is. But we hear, like I said before, we hear that the Bible song that says, by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept. There we wept when we remembered Zion. Zion is where we come from. Where we live in now, that in the Western world, to us is actually Babylon. So now that we're there, and then we think when we remember Zion, which is home, where things are, where things were supposed to be good and us and nice for us, and we're not there. And then you're telling me how can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land, when we've remembered Zion, which is our home, which is where we came from, and all those things. We cannot sing the Lord's song in a strange land. We want to come home. We want to think about the goodness of it. That's where the heart is, and not outside in the diaspora. No matter what is going on, So we need to, when we remember Zion, we cannot sing the lost song in Babylon, no matter how good or how enticing it is.
You wrote here, you addressed it. I think number 3 here, you wrote that anger and malice, anger and malice are cancer that plagues the soul. I thank God that He found a permanent cure for it. That cure is forgiveness. So when I hold anger and malice in my heart, I am sick from the way you've described it. It's like cancer. And but in this case, the cure for it is forgiveness. So once I forgive, I am cured, right? So that's what you're saying.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. You're free. You're set free. And again, you have to set yourself free sometimes. It's not about people doing things for you. You have to do things for you. It's about you. And like I said, also somewhere in the book, right? I also said something about fortifying yourself, right? It's not about the enemy. It's not about your enemy, right? Your enemies can do nothing to you, right? The problem, what you need to worry about is the enemy. The enemy.
Enemy.
If the enemy is strong, the enemy cannot do anything to you. Right? So think about the enemy and not the enemy. Fortify the enemy and don't think about the enemy. Because if the enemy is good and strong and fortified, the enemy cannot penetrate through you.
I think that should be pasted. I think that should be pasted on every wall at home and in offices and all that. I love that. If the enemy is fine.
Because you can be wished. You can be wished by somebody and not hexed. Because you'll be wished, that means that you can be hexed. Right. Wow. So what I'm talking about now is once you fortify yourself, you can never be hexed. No matter what they bewitch, what they throw at you, it will not touch you. It will not come close.
So Doc, as we round up, so waiting, home, anger, malice, the enemy. Once the enemy is strong, the enemy can't do nothing about you. So you've got all these nuggets of wisdom. How many are in the book?
Actually, 300.
About 300 of the nuggets.
Yes, in this book.
So whoever picks up this book from the very beginning will then begin to come across these nuggets. You deal with them one by one, and there are 300 of them covering different aspects of life, relationships, dealing with ourselves, relationship with God, business,
and as it's related to God's promises and all those things. Like I said, our God is an astute businessman, and he wants us to progress and not, so there's things we think about or talk about that we should not worry, and that He gives you according to your capacity. That's what God will give you according to what you can handle.
Okay, Dr. Steve, unfortunately, time is not our friend, and we have to end this now. But very enlightening. Thank you for sharing with us your new book. And it's really exciting reading that, really inspiring and enlightening reading your book. And I'm sure viewers out there are eager to lay their hands on it and use it as, like you said, it's a coffee table book. So it's something one of the things I like about your book is you don't have to read it sequentially from beginning to the end. I mean, you could just pick it up, open any page there, and that can sort you out for the day.
And it grabs you. Any page, whatever grabs you. That you doesn't have to read it from page 1 to the last page.
Yeah.
You can open, you can begin from any page that you want to.
Well done on that.
And also, I'll be coming to Nigeria soon for official launch. I don't know when, but it's somewhere by before the end of the year or beginning of next year. I'm going to come for a huge
we'll look forward to having you in Nigeria, and do let us know when you're in town. Thank you very much for joining us on Channels Book Club, Dr. Steve Samuel, and we'll look forward to having you on the show once again. Thanks for joining us on Channels Book Club.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. And may God continue to bless Nigeria. You know,
Amen.
I know even though our tribe and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we always stand, and we should always remember that.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next, the month of September is the literacy month, so to speak. All over the world, celebrations about literacy, promoting literacy. Why? Because the World Literacy Day, or some people like to call it International Literacy Day, is September 8th every year. So September then becomes a month when there's a lot of focus on literacy. And the same happened in Nigeria, as it happened in many other parts of the world, just celebrating and promoting literacy on the World Literacy Day. We were there to attend one particular event that we found quite interesting. Enjoy this.
On October 26, 1966, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, during its General Conference, declared September 8 as the International Literacy Day. Since its first celebration in 1967, the Global Sphere has continued to celebrate this day and month annually. (2024) is no different, as Foluke Falaye, author of over 20 books, hosts pupils, teachers, book enthusiasts and others in Lagos State, Nigeria, to celebrate the 2024 International Literacy Day.
Mother, you will hurt your hands. You should have used the piece of rag instead of carrying that pot with your bare hands.
Literacy advocates present speak on this year's theme, promoting multilingual education, literacy for mutual understanding and peace.
In spite of our difference of languages and cultures, we must find a common meeting point in justice to build a world, to build a nation where no one is oppressed.
Parents, we should begin to teach our children in our mother tongue, be it Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, which other? Ishekiri, whatever it is. Let's begin to teach our children in our mother tongue. It will go a long way to help us in this country.
Ta hanyar zaman lafiya, ilimi inda makomar zaman lafiya take, ilmantar da mutane duk inda yake da muhimmanci.
Ọmọ ọdún mẹ́wàá ni mí, mo ti wà ní kíláàsì 5. Ọmọ ìlú Ọ̀yọ́ ni mí.
Panelists also discuss the benefits and privileges one can gain by being multilingual.
The best way to promote peace and understanding is through language. To have peace and mutual understanding in our lives and in the society, we need to do what? Inculcate multilingual education in the country and in the world in general.
The convener, while speaking on the joy of bringing people together to promote literacy, encourages multilingual languages.
This has been my long-time dream, bringing people together, reading and promoting reading. As you are learning English language, as you are using it as an official language, you must not leave your languages, your local languages, you must not leave them at the background. You must not forget them. So we are to embrace all languages.
According to UNESCO, the International Literacy Day is an opportunity to honor all those who are dedicated to making universal literacy a reality, not just a goal.
This is where we have to end the show today. As always, we're delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. We're always eager to hear from you. So if you have a question, an inquiry, or you just want to share an experience with us, please get in touch through any of those social media platforms you can see on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.